Give me a wave if you're here. So I'm just waiting for a few of you to join. So when John tells me you can start seeing people. Have any of you ever done Facebook Live before? Have got anybody here yet, John? 3 people at the moment. Our audience is building. So I'm just waiting for our audience to grow a little bit. Just let me tell you a little bit about Facebook Live. Basically, there's just me and John here, okay? So I've got to do everything, and John is holding the iPad, and we have a 30-second delay. So sometimes I'm rushing ahead and John sees no responses, and it just all sort of goes on a go slow. And sometimes when he's walking around the kitchen, he has to zoom in, so then it looks as though he's on it a long time, but it's just while he's zooming in and getting it focused. So anybody who saw me at Cake Supplies yesterday, running around the kitchen like a mad woman, a few people said it was blurry, and that's because I wasn't waiting for the camera to zoom in. But anyhow, so let's just see while I was rambling there, if a few more people have joined us. And if you have, can you give me a few little waves and likes? How are we doing, John?
Yeah, we're up to 38, 42. We've got Tisha, Teresa, Lindsay, Sharon, Joanna, Ria, Kelly, Marlena.
So hi everybody.
Caroline's joined us as well. She's going to answer some questions this evening. We've got Naomi, Katie. Right.
Okay, so quite a few of you have joined. So I'm just going to talk to you about a couple of things. We're actually going to make meringues tonight, and one of the things I'm going to talk to you about is the 7 tips to successful meringues. And the lady who wrote this was the lady on the Great British Bake Off, Nancy Birchwhistle, and she wrote 7 tips to successful meringues. Well, I've got tip 8 and tip 9. Don't ever do them on Facebook Live. My day has been tormented today, and how these meringues are going to work out, I really don't know. One of the biggest secrets about making meringues is in a nice cool kitchen, make them the last bake of the day, and then when they're ready, open the oven slightly, turn the oven off, walk away, go to bed, and in the morning they will be perfect. Don't do what I did today, which was make them in the day. So I'll explain a little bit more about that. So just to say that if we had a camera in here today watching me, you would have seen what it was like. So just a couple of things that I do want to mention. I am not a professional baker. Never have been a professional baker. Don't want to be a professional baker. I am a granny who was at home with the grandchildren, and I decided I wanted to bake with them, and that's how Sugar and Crumbs came about. And all I've done is just play with recipes and seeing if I could incorporate our flavoured sugars into the recipes. And Laura and I just want to share those recipes with you. I don't know whether they're right or whether they're wrong, you know, but they're just a bit of fun. I'm actually here in my own home, in my own kitchen. I'm not gowned up. I don't wear a face mask, I don't wear gloves, you know, I might touch my hair, but everything in here is just for our own home use. I'm not selling it to anyone, I'm not giving it away, I'm not selling it, I'm not giving it away to the public out there. The only people who take away the goods from me are people that are family and friends that know me, and they're quite happy to take it away, knowing about, you know, my cleanliness here in the kitchen. So I just wanted to mention that, because sometimes there's a couple of comments, you know, she touched her hair and didn't wash her hands, and it's just, I'm here, I'm just having a bit of fun. Like when you have your friends over for Sunday tea or something like that, and you know, do you get gowned up and everything? No, you don't, you just cook it. So I just thought I'd get that out of the way. Anyhow, so I said I'd make meringues today, and then somebody asked me, would I make aqua faba meringues? So has anybody heard of aqua faba? Because I actually hadn't heard of it until I was asked the question, I think either Saturday night or yesterday, I can't remember, but somebody asked me would I make them, and I stupidly went, you know what, let's go and give it a go. So I found the recipe, and it's been fun. So let's get John to have a look what we've been doing here. Okay, so aqua faba is actually the juice of the chickpea, okay? So chickpeas are soaked in water in a tin, and it's actually the juice of that. So this is what we're going to use today for the meringues, and these are suitable for vegans. Just let me get another dish. Just 1 second. So aquafaba is the water from the juice of the chickpea in a can, okay? And these are fantastic, well, supposedly, fantastic for making meringues for vegetarians. And you can either throw the chickpeas away, which seems a shame, or you can bake them if you want to. And all you need to do to bake them is pop them on a baking tray, a little bit of what's the oil called? Olive oil. Well done. A little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, and put them on the baking tray and just crisp them up in the oven. So probably about 20 to 30 minutes in the oven, and then you get a nice little crunchy snack for those who don't want to waste their chickpeas. And again, great for vegetarians and vegans. And actually, I've really enjoyed them as well. So that's what I'm going to bake with those later. I'm not going to show you how to do it, but if you want to know, I can tell you. Let me get rid of my rubbish as we go along. We're going to be making a lot of noise in the kitchen today. I've watched back a couple of the Facebook Lives and it's amazing how much you can hear. So these are the meringues made with the aquafaba, okay? And these are really very, very light, okay? Really very, very light. I think if I glue them, they'd all puff up in the air and blow away. So I've just made different sizes. And then these are meringues that I made with the sugar and crumbs icing sugar. So the ones at the front are raspberry and white chocolate, and these here at the back, these are cinnamon swirl. Now meringues are meant to be white, but I did tell you I've had a nightmare of a day today, and the cinnamon swirl ones, I expected them to come out a bit brown, but the raspberry and white chocolate really shouldn't have really. That means I've left them cooling in the oven with the oven door shut and not open. But you know what? I've had a few and they taste absolutely delicious. So I will show you how bad my day went. And these are the ones. Anybody who'd really like to know how bad my day went. I left my first set of meringues in the oven. And are you ready for it? Because they're absolutely amazing. Voila! So what do we think of that then, girls? So you can imagine what my kitchen looked like today. And that's because I followed the aquafaba temperature, which said to bake, and I'm almost sure I might have got myself a bit dizzy, but it said bake at 250 for 1.5 hours, which I did. So I left it in the oven, came back, and that's what we had. And I went into complete meltdown as there was smoke all over the kitchen, and let's just say there was 3 of these big bad boys in the oven. So this is how not to make meringues, and this is why when it's on Facebook Live you see it as it is. Warts and all. So we'll get rid of that then, okay? I had to retrieve that from the bin because I threw it away. I wasn't going to show you, and then I decided I would. So we're also going to play with the Nifty Nozzles today. I want to do a little bit on Nifty Nozzles. Every week because, you know, some of you have seen it before, but it does no harm to see them again. And I want to show new people who are joining us how the Nifty Nozzles work as well. So I've got set up here some Nifty Nozzles. So while I get my mix in the mixer, we can have a little bit of a talk about Nifty Nozzles, okay? So first of all, I'm going to use the pink mixer, John. So if you can keep over here. So the pink mixer has got my egg white in. Now, one of the top tips that Nancy says is make sure everything is spotless, okay? And that means that this and this has to be absolutely spotlessly clean. So if you've been making buttercream in your mixer, then you must make sure you wash this out with boiling hot water. And I've rinsed these and rinsed these and rinsed these today in boiling hot water. I've even had the kettle on them. So here it goes in 4 large eggs, okay? And we're going to get the 2 mixers going together. And then egg whites, yep, sorry. Egg whites, oh yes. And the next tip is make sure It's not to whisk. A minute. So she says, be sure to use the sparkling clean bowl. Any grease present and your egg whites will not whisk up. Be sure to have no yolk in after separating the eggs. Slow and steady, whisk the egg whites until they have reached a soft peak stage, and then start to add the sugar. So we're going to use our flavoured icing sugar today. We're going to use raspberry and white chocolate, and I'm going to use it for both. So this one is for the vegans, vegetarian and vegans, and this is the chickpea juice. And what it was the juice of 1 can, and the can was 400 grams. So I took out the chickpeas, and there we go. So I'm just going to drop these down. I'm going to put these on. So we're going to have these slow and steady. So I'm sorry about the noise, but we're going to have this for the next 10 minutes. So I'm going to run it over here. So John, if you want to come over here. You get any questions, sir? So what we're going to do is we're just going to talk about a few other things first. So we have brought a new range in, and John comes over here and has a look. And I hope you can hear me above all the mixes. So we've brought in some of the Paul Hollywood range, okay? And the Paul Hollywood range is a fantastic new range that's been brought in. I love this nice champagne colour. So we've got the new baking tray, which is ideal for a Swiss roll, and I might be brave enough to do that one day on a Facebook Live. And then we've got the brownie tin. We've got his set of spoons, which I have to say are fabulous. They're a bit like the old Victorian type spoons. So I love those. I do absolutely love those. All these are on the website, available now. Okay. We've got the sandwich tins, and these are the small Victoria sponge sandwich tins, and I will do these one week just to show you how easy these are. We've got the large cupcake tin, and there's the 2 sandwich tins, the 20 centimetres, which is 8-inch, and the 7-inch sandwich tin. So this is the brand new Paul Hollywood range that's all just come into stock now, and it's on the website, so you can go along and buy it if you wish to. Absolutely lovely. Last week we did the rainbow layer cake. That's actually in stock as well. The recommended retail price is $14.99. We put it on at $12.99. And then look at these bad boys. And in the next coming weeks I am going to do these, but they are on the website, so if you want to go ahead and do them without me, feel free. But these bad boys are on, and I shall open the box up so you can have a look. Take one out. You get 2 tins in this set. Should have maybe taken all the rubbish out earlier. So this is your base, and this is going to leave a little hole in your base so that you can fill it with your treats. You make your top on there, then you put your buttercream, you make your top in there, then when it's baked, you put your buttercream on, you put your top on, and you're going to get a nice big cake like that, and then you pour your icing all over the top and your hundreds and thousands or whatever it is that you want to put on. So this is just coming to stock now, and I can't wait to use this one. This is going to be fab fun. And then the next one that we've got in is we've got the new tray base set as well. I'm not going to take this out. It's very similar to the other one, except it's a big oblong cake. And again, you can fill it with jam or sweets, whatever you want. But this is fabulous as well. And we'll use this one week soon. I'll probably do these 2 together. Yeah? You got those, John? Yeah? So that's all the new stock that's actually coming this week, if anybody's interested in them. So we've got the Paul Hollywood range, and we've got these new cake tins in from Kitchen Craft and the Wilton Easy Layer Pan. So I hope you like those. They're all on the website live now. Then if John wants to pop back over to here, we're actually going to do a prize. And this is going to be our Sugar and Crumbs giveaway. So just ignore those. This is over £50 worth of goodies. If John can just have a look. So you get a bag of white chocolate and raspberry flavoured icing sugar, strawberry milkshake, a packet of 100% free from everything sprinkles, cupcake cases. You get the Blossom nozzles, the new mini Mrs. Whippy. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colours from the Colour Splash range, piping bags, the 352 tip, Wilton tip, and this fabulous new pan. And that's going to be our giveaway for this month. And what we'll do is Caroline will be popping up posts on Facebook, and it will be for you to pop your comments and share, and we will pick a winner out at the end of the month. Is that right, John? End of the month? Pardon?
After Easter.
After Easter. So, okay, this is, you know, I'm only the boss, but I get told at a later date. So after Easter, but I will let you know. So you're going to see that post pop up quite often. Share it with as many people as you can, and that's £50 worth of goodies for our giveaway. Yeah? So let me just get this out of the way. So I know you can hear all the noise in here, and I am going to try and speak as loud as I can, and we'll keep going back to it. So the meringues, when they're baked, they need to have a nice caramel colour underneath, okay? And the aquafaba as well. These are very, very light, and I mean really light. I think I can't even tell you how light they are. So let's do a little bit on Nifty Nozzles. So while we're waiting for the egg whites to mix up. In fact, John, if you come over here now. So this is our egg white in the dark deep mixer, okay? And we've got this on a kneading speed. It's on number 4 on the KitchenAid, and we're going to beat this until it's got a really nice heat. One of the things I found with the aquafaba, it takes a long time to beat. So 15 minutes we're going to have this racket on for. So it does take a long time. So I'm just going to speed that up a little bit more. And while that's going, I'm just going to talk about Nifty Nozzles. Can you all hear me okay? I'm shouting as loud as I can. So this is the pleasure when you're working live. You have to work with what you've got. So let me just... So I'm always telling people what's going on with the Russian flour tips. So this is Nifty Nozzles. If you've got a genuine Nifty Nozzle, it will come in one of these pink bags with the label of the nozzle of your choice. So here, I'm just going to point them out again, Chinese poppy. So this is what you're going to get off Kitchen Hacks. Okay, Kitchen Hacks, satchels, all those ones that are showing that lovely video at the moment. So this is your copy, this is your larger copy, and this is the genuine nozzle. Now what's the difference? I'm hoping John can zoom in, and you'll see that the laser cuts are much better than these little cuts here. Can you see them, John? Yeah? Nifty Nozzles has the name on the side, and then it has the manufacturer's name, and this is the original designer, Alexander Lebedev, and he's my business partner, and we work together on the Russian nozzles. This is the name of his company, Tulip. A lot of people say to me, I've got a tulip nozzle, or it's been misprinted because it says tulip, and they thought they had a rose nozzle. Please bear in mind that tulip is his company name. It's not the name of the nozzle. The name of the nozzle, if I go back there, should be on this one, you'll see this nozzle, it says 5L Nifty Nozzles. We've changed the writing quite a few times while we've tried to, get it right, but 5L means spring tulip, and you'll find that on the website. So each nozzle has its own unique number. So this one is the genuine Russian flour tip. This one looks very similar. The only way you can tell it's not similar is when you've got them in your hand together, and you'll find how light this is, and the cuts are not sharp. And this is the smaller mini one as well. I mean, you can see when people actually see these, when I show people these at the cake shows or in a cake class, or like at cake supplies in the Netherlands yesterday, when they see them with their own eye, you can actually see the difference in quality. This is the velvet tulip, and this is the original one. Yeah, this one is the firecracker, the Chinese one, and this is the original one. And you can see the difference. Yeah. And then this one here is the Chinese copy of the Oriental Ruffle, and this is the original one. There is a company in the UK selling these at the moment. I do need to speak to them. It is a copy, okay, and they're plastering little videos around all over the place at the moment, but they are a copy. They do leave a big hole in the centre, and they ask you to fill it. You don't need to fill it if you're using the original one. So let's go back to this next John. So I'm just going to turn this mixer off, and I'm just going to turn this off. Wait, peace and quiet. So I need to make sure I use 2 separate spoons. So your mix needs to be not to be able to fall off. Yeah, so it's still not quite ready yet. So we'll just give it, it's nearly there. In fact, do you know what? I think I might go with that. I think that would do. So that's the consistency you need. So I'm just going to turn it on a little bit more while I walk round to John, and I'm just going to bring the icing sugar. So we've got 4 large eggs, and we've got 230 grams of flavoured icing sugar. You can use any of the flavoured icing sugar. The only one that we seem to have had a problem with recently is pineapple. I don't know why, but it just doesn't seem to work in the meringues. It did for me once, but it hasn't since. So with the 230 grams of icing sugar, it must be sieved. Otherwise you're going to have bought lumps in there. So we just put it in nice and slow, and we let it beat in, so each one has to beat in by itself. So you're going to have to watch with me, girls. Unfortunately, I don't have a situation where I can just go through this and then here's one that we made earlier. We have to just work with it. So let that whip in. Then we're going to have another one. And there's another one in. We're just going to keep doing this until we put over half in. Can you use caster sugar? Absolutely, caster sugar and flavouring, but we're going with the flavoured icing sugar. It's just something different. So I've got my oven on, and the oven is a fan oven, and that needs to be 100. I'm just going to have another one. You basically add the sugar about every 3, 4, 5 seconds. Wait for it to be incorporated. So I'm just going to turn up the speed a little bit so it takes it off the side. And another one. Another one. Keep going. So I've done over half now. I'm just going to wait for this to incorporate. So let's see what this looks like. So you can see how it's holding. So can you see it's holding on the spoon there, John? Yeah? Mm-hmm. So we're going to take that off. Just going to get rid of this for a wash. Come back round to my side. So we've just put in over half. We'll come back round to my side. We'll go back to the chickpea one in a minute. So here we are, John. So I'm just going to fold everything in. And I'm just going to sprinkle the rest of it over. Now this is easy meringues, so anybody who makes meringues and they're a professional and they're going, no, that's not how you make them. This is just the quick way of making meringues. And I have just got this recipe off the website and it's called Easy Meringues. That's what I'm all about. I'm not here to show any of you how to do things professionally and have it all looking perfect. I'm here for you bakers who are at home with your children and you just want to give it a go. You've got flavoured icing sugars in your cupboard and you've made buttercreams and now you want to try something else. And that's all that this Facebook Live is about. A little bit of fun. I actually enjoy it. I give up my own time to do this. Poor John's been in work since 4 o'clock this morning and he's holding on to the iPad and he was devastated when I told him that we're probably going to be here for another hour tonight. So I'm just going to, I've cut my parchment paper and I'm just going to use a little bit of this to hold it down. Yep. So I'm just going to do that. And then I'm going to give in a squirt of pink. So a squirt of the pink colour splash, there you go. And it goes. And then we're just going to mix in the pink just so we get this effect. Now you can do a couple of types of meringues if you want. You can spoon it out so that you've got these nice big blobs. Yeah, you sit down there, John. You're feeling all weary. He is nodding, he is feeling all weary. So we're just going to make some of these nice big ones like this. And if you use a really big ladle, you can make those ginormous ones that you always see at fairs and crafts and things like that when they do those big giant meringues. So I am just going to put this one here. I should have thought about organising my pan a little bit better. So I'm going to put those in the oven now, 9:30. You're not going to see them come out on the Facebook Live, but I am going to be doing an after event afterwards. So when we finish at 9 o'clock, I'm going to let you all go away, make a brew, and I'm going to come back about 9:30 once I've cleared up in here, and hopefully we can get these out of the oven, or I can show you what they're looking like. So we're just, it's a bit difficult. John, you might have to come down there. So all we're doing is scraping the rest of the mix into a bag. You can put a nozzle into the bag, and before anybody asks, does it work with the Nifty Nozzles? No, it doesn't. Well, Laura and I tried them a few weeks ago and it didn't work. If anyone can get them to work for meringues, fantastic, let me know. But we weren't successful. So let's get rid of that. I didn't realise that when you're on Facebook Live just how much background noise you can hear. So I'm sorry about all the clanking, but I need to clean up as we go. So I've just put this in this bag. Do yourself a favour, don't cut the hole first. So put it in the bag. And then I'm going to cut myself a little hole. Like I say, you can put a nozzle on if you want to. And then I'm just going to do a little blob there. And a little blob there. And bake that down. And then we're just going to squeeze these out. So we'll do different sizes. You can make them as big as small as you want. I'm not sure if my mix should have been a little bit firmer, but the others that you saw before came out just like this as well. So we'll just do this. And put those there. Use it all up, because I'm sure the boys in the warehouse will be looking forward to these tomorrow. They always love it on Facebook Live when I'm going to work the next day and they get everything. And of course they don't mind that I'm working in my own kitchen and they're not paying for them, so they really don't care. I'm sure you're probably wondering why I'm mentioning it. I'm not. It's not a big. It's not a big secret, is it? But a few people have mentioned why have I not got a uniform on. But you know, I watch kitchen programs on a Saturday. I don't see them wearing one. So there we don't see them wearing a uniform. So there we go. All I've done is just added a bit of pink colouring in. If you don't want to add it into your whole mix, you could actually paint your bag if you wanted to, your piping bag. So I'm going to put those in there. And the time is 8:30, and we'll have a look at them again at 9:30 when I come back afterwards. So I'm going to put the mixer on again, make a little bit more noise. Sorry about that, John's looking at me with more pain. So we'll get the aquafaba back on, and we're just going to beat that up. I'm just going to turn the mixer up a little bit. So this is for vegans. Make sure that I'm using a separate bowl, and this is the juice of 1 pint of chickpeas. So I've not boiled the chickpeas or anything. So this is any chickpeas. These are from the co-op. I had some today that I used from Aldi. I'm sure from any company they'll be fine. And it's a 400 gram tin. And I've just drained the chickpeas. I'm going to use them for something else, and the juice has just gone into here, and we're mixing it up nice and foamy. So I'm just going to turn it up a little bit more, so you'll see it thicken up. It's only been made the meringues to jazz usually. Okay. So I'm sorry if you can't hear this very well, but we need to get this out of the way. If I get this out of the way, we can move on. So John, can you just see in there now? Yeah, can you see how it's thickening up? So let's just turn it off. Let's see how it's doing. Yeah. It's nearly holding on its own, so we'll just give it another minute. So this is just chickpea juice. I'm going to give it a really good blast now. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes, sorry. So it takes about 10 to 15 minutes. I'll tell you a little bit more in a minute, sorry. So if John wants to show you the fries again, and the whole Hollywood range, that would be great. So John, do you want to talk me through what you're showing us? So John's just showing you the aquafaba meringues that we made, and the new Paul Hollywood range, as he's showing you my floor there. So this is the new Paul Hollywood range, and the new Easy Layer Pan, and the pinata tins that we've bought from Cake Craft. And then we've got a prize draw on that we're going to announce the winner of this prize draw. This is a £50 plus giveaway that's over here when he gets over here. So what do you think of the Paul Hollywood range? Do you like it, guys? So I'm going to have to turn my mixer on again. Maybe John might talk to you. Go and talk to him, John. Come on. Don't be shy. let's hope that we're ready now. Yeah, so can you believe this is chickpea juice? How amazing is that? Look. And that's what the consistency we want. So all we're going to do now is add the flavoured icing sugar. And I'm going to have to turn this mixer on again, I am sorry, while I put the flavoured icing sugar in. So this is perfect for vegans because this is just made with chickpea juice, which they call aquafaba. I can't tell you the story because I can't remember, but Google it afterwards. And adding it exactly the same as you do the normal meringues. Check it's all in. It's a bit strange having to do it the opposite side of where I am. And then that should be done. And again, yeah, that's holding nicely. Just put over here. I'm just going to stir in the sides. So don't beat in the loose stuff, just fold it all in. Like I say to you, your pan needs to be spotlessly clean, no grease. I'm just going to put a little top of this here, just to keep the parchment paper down. Second one here. And then get my piping bag. Again, don't cut it, I've not put a nozzle in. And when these come out, they do come out nice and high, but when they were baked, they seem to flatten out like this. Now somebody may be able to tell me that I did them wrong, I'm really not sure, but this is the very first time I've ever made these, first time I've even heard of them till this weekend. So I think they do taste good though, but they are really light. So what colour should I put in these? Put pink in these as well, I think. No, put I'm just going to put a blue in, just so that we can tell the difference, or you both tell the difference with texture really. Just put blue in. So we're just going to fold in the blue. And then I'm going to pour that into the piping bag. I'll try and pour it this way so that you can all see it. So we'll pour that into the piping bag. So we've got blue, raspberry and white chocolate aquafaba meringues here. You know, I'll make a big one with that after. There we go, there's no hole in the bag. Get the scissors. And they'll start coming. So there we go. Ooh, they're a bit too blue, aren't they? Just shows, doesn't it, that colour splash, just, you really do only need a little. So we're going to have very blue aquafaba meringues. I wouldn't say it was my favourite colour. I like to try and keep it nice and light. So let's put a few more. Just give us that one, John. So have we got any vegans watching tonight? Can you correct me on what I've done on the recipe, right or wrong? And I don't know whether any of you guys are local, but if any of you guys are local and you want to join me on Facebook Live, please message me afterwards, because I am open to anybody coming along and joining us here in the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen and doing their recipe. I'm just going to put these on here and doing their recipe. So I wonder if any of you would be interested in bringing your recipe along and joining me on Facebook Live on a Monday night. So I haven't got enough room for any more, so let's get these in the oven. We'll have a look at what they look like afterwards. So that's all the noise done with for tonight. Mixers out of the way, and let's get on to Nifty Nozzles. So I've got no music in the background either. A couple of people told me to turn it off. Funny, isn't it, what you can do in your own kitchen. So let's move these bad boys out of the way and let's get to the good stuff. So while they're in the oven, I've made some buns. And we'll just play with the Nifty Nozzles for a moment. So loads of you have been sharing your pictures on Facebook, which has been absolutely fantastic. I'm so pleased, and all of you have said that you've really enjoyed these Facebook Lives. So I do hope that they are working for you, and a lot of you said that they've actually really helped in you being able to use the nozzles. So when I make the buns for Nifty Nozzles, I turn the heat on a little bit more. Are you with us here, John? Yep. I turn the heat on a little bit more. So I've spent the last couple of years trying to have lovely, nice, flat cupcakes, and then for Nifty Nozzles I turn the heat on a little bit more so I can get them in this little volcano shape, mainly because I just think that looks a little bit nicer. So today, the buttercream. People say, how do I get my buttercream so white? Well, I've just used normal butter. Well, I'll get one out of the fridge. I get it from any supermarket. This lot's the Co-op I've been to. It really does depend what shop I'm passing. So it was yellow when it went in the mixer, and then I've just beat the butter on its own, and I gave it a good beat for about 10 minutes. So that's got no icing sugar in it at all. That is just butter beaten in the mixer to get it nice and white. Okay, and that's how you get your buttercream white. Just beat it longer. I've also told you guys to use condensed milk, and that's great when it's really cold, but we've had a lovely spring, so I'm just going to move that out of the way because I don't want to get it confused. We've had a lovely spring, and I left the butter out today so it was nice and warm, and because it was nice and warm I didn't really need to add condensed milk. When you are doing your cakes, just put a little thin coat of buttercream on. You don't need a lot, and this is to help your nozzles stick. So I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to use a nozzle called Rose Cup. That is a really pretty nozzle, and I have done it in pink. It's already here in pink. And what we're going to do is, so I'm just going to bend down and sit on it. See here, you focused in, John? Yeah. So all you have to do with your nozzles is, so this buttercream today, because it was room temperature, I didn't need to add any condensed milk or water, so it was perfect. So when you're playing with your buttercream, you really do just have to learn your consistency, and then in the winter maybe add some condensed milk. In the summer you probably end up putting it in the fridge trying to keep it firm, but once you know your consistency, you're good to go. So the nozzle must go onto the cake. A lot of people want to look at the nozzle and then they want to start to squeeze and see the flour, but that flour will never attach to the cake unless you put it onto the cake. So we're going to squeeze, form a base, up and off. Squeeze, form a base, up and off. Squeeze, form a base, up and off. I don't know if you can see it very well. Squeeze, form a base, up and off. Squeeze, form a base, up and off. I'm going to fit 2 more in round here, squeeze, form a base, up and off. And I tend to squeeze, so it's about 1 centimetre long, yeah? And then that is how your cupcake's going to look. And then you need to fill in all the gaps. And a lot of people fill it in with loads of leaves, and I don't particularly like loads of leaves, so I'm going to use the Wilton 10 round tip, and I'm just going to put some berries in. I'm just going to put a couple of berries in. I'll do it that way so you can see. Put a few berries there, just to make a nice little ball effect. Yep. And you can use any colour green you want. I've gone for a light green today. Go for a dark green. Just choose whatever colour you want, really. There's no rules about what colour green you should have. So I'm just going to, can you see around there, John? So I've just done those little balls. And then I've got the Wilton, let's just see what we've got here. Yep. The Wilton round number 5, and I've done that in pink because I'm just going to finish off the top of my berry. I'm just going to push that in there. So on each of my berries, I'm just going to do a little squeeze, a little pink top. This all comes together shortly. So there you go. Just something different than filling the whole thing up with leaves. So who's been doing this already? John, are you talking to me tonight? Because I have no idea what anybody's saying unless you tell me.
Yeah.
So are you all liking it all so far? And can I ask you all, do you think these Facebook Lives are worth it? Are you actually enjoying them? Quite a lot of you are. I've spoke to so many ladies who said it's been fab. And then we need a leaf. And I haven't done my leaf because I was saving it and then I forgot. So we've got the leaf nozzle, and that's pardon?
Lots of likes.
Oh, lots of likes, brilliant, good, I'm glad you're liking it. I'd hate to think I was here on Monday nights wasting my time. So we've got the Wilton 352 leaf nozzle, and I'm going to show you this again. So I'm just going to fill it with 2 colours. You can fill it with just pink or choose whatever leaf you want, but I'm just going to put in 2 colours. So John can just watch. So I've cut this bag so it's small. I hate having all the overhang on. So I'm just going to put the green in the middle. I'm going to two-tone my leaf bag. So I'm just going to put the green in the middle. There. Yeah. So just a nice little thin coat. So these are not mini bags. I've just cut it, and if I'm honest, I probably cut this one just a little bit too short. So I'm just going to do that. And then I'm going to get a nice slice of the pink colour, which I've just dropped in the green. This is the thing with Facebook Live, you get to see all the things that you do wrong. Can't hide anything. So have I got any takers yet who want to join me on a Monday night on Facebook Live? John, was anybody brave enough to say that they wanted to join me?
So I'm not that sure, I missed that bit.
Did you miss that bit? So for anybody who missed it, because it seems that John must have...
We'll go back to comments afterwards.
It seems that John has missed the answers, but if anybody wants to come and join me here in Stockport on a Monday night at 8 o'clock and do their recipe on this Facebook Live, we would be more than happy for you to join us, as long as it's using Nifty Nozzles and sugar and crumbs, icing sugars, because that's what it's all about. So the nozzle there, okay, this, I say if you lie it that way, it's the nozzle smiling, and I'll just do it here. This is going to give you a very strange leaf if you do it that way. So you need to hold the nozzle this way, and you get a small leaf, a medium leaf. So you just build a bigger base and a bigger centre. So then we're just going to do a bigger leaf and a bigger leaf, and you get all that from one nozzle. So the green's just coming through at the moment, but I'm hoping the pink's going to come through soon. So then we're going to go onto the cake, and we're going to go in and we're going to open up the leaf.
Louise said she'll come and join you.
Who's this?
Louise.
Louise.
Cake deck.
Oh, cake deck, yes. You name the day, Louise, and come on down, we'll have a blast. Show us what you want to make. So there is our first cupcake for the evening. Yeah, just prettied that one up, nice and pink. I'm going to put that one there. And then we're going to use this nozzle, so anybody who missed it, I'm just going to do a few, about 4 cakes. So I'm just going to use the Starburst nozzle. So what do we think of that rose cup nozzle there? That's really pretty, isn't it? So tonight I've not used condensed milk because the kitchen is warm, mainly because I burnt my meringue earlier, and the weather has been gorgeous this last few days. So we're going to use the Starburst. What are you laughing at, John?
We've got Hannah said she'll do the filming and I can go and put my feet up.
Oh right, well Hannah, you know what, John is
next week.
No wonder John was smiling. Here, I'll take you up on that one. You message us, Anna, and you can do that. So we're going to use the Starburst nozzle, okay, and I'm just going to use it exactly the same, up and off, onto the base, 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 up and off. So you just do exactly the same, onto the base, up and off, onto the base, up and off, and then we'll do a couple of little berries on. Just randomly put them anywhere. Who's not getting on with their nozzles? Who's still having problems? I do classes, you know, so if you go onto the website, I do classes. I'm based in Stockport, the classes are here, and they're £99. You do go home with 24 cupcakes. I think my leaves just fell off. You do go home with 24 cupcakes and a dome cake, and I provide you with those cakes. So you do actually get your money's worth, and I do show you everything, how to use the nozzles. I'm just going to put in the centres again. My class for April is full. I think I've got a space left on the May class and a couple of spaces on the June class. I've not put any classes in for August, for July and August, simply because I thought it's school holidays and nobody'd really want to come. And then we're going to put our leaf nozzle on again. So we're going to I'm going to put a little leaf here and a little one there, a little one there. And then we're just going to do that. Can you focused in there? Can you see the pink coming through on the end of these leaves now, where I've two-toned it? And that's the Starburst. So I'm just going to put another leaf on here because it looks like a leaf has fell off. It's a rose cup. Then we're going to do this one now. So John, if you're ready. So I'm going to do a white rose cupcake, and then I'm going to show you how to do the big rose. I think the white rose cupcakes look fabulous for weddings. So we're just going to use just white buttercream, and like I say, how did I get my white? I just beat the living daylights out of the butter before I added the icing sugar. So just a little thin coat around the cake, and we're going to use the Beauty nozzle tonight. So yeah, we've got Beauty, and so we're just going to go onto the cake, exactly the same, up and off. Oh, there you go, it's broke off. This is what happens on Facebook Live. You get to see everything that goes wrong. Don't panic, just knock him off and go back on again. So up, 1 centimetre and off, up 1 centimetre and off. I'm going to go all the way around, up and off. On all the copy sites you will see a lovely white rose, no, that one's broke off, a white rose photograph that everyone has nicked. It's actually my photo. In fact, quite a lot of my photos are on the copy websites. If any of you want to know how well we're doing, I have managed to keep Amazon UK pretty clear. Just get the odd random one appearing each night, but they get dinked off the next day. I have cleared France and Germany, Amazon, and again just the odd random one. Not Germany, cleared France and Spain. Italy is nearly all gone, so where they all had about well, Germany and the UK had 20 plus pages, France and Italy and what's the other one? France and Spain. Well, France and Spain had about 10 pages of sellers, and Italy has a few more, but they're all down to about 4 pages now, in fact probably less than that, and our nozzles are starting to appear on there. I had a lovely lady on Facebook, and I have told you guys, if you have bought copy nozzles, you can send them back to the people you bought them off. So I have got a message off a lady who contacted Amazon and told them that she believed she'd bought copies, and they said they wanted nothing to do with it, and she had to prove it. So she came back to me and I gave her all the patent numbers, and she's messaged me tonight to tell me she's got her money back off Amazon. So any of you who bought those cheap nasty copies out there, you want your money back, that's all you need to do. Message me, and if you bought them off any sellers in the UK, if it's not a Nifty Nozzle, it's a copy, you by law can have your money back because they have sold you counterfeit goods. I am a bit sad at some of the cake shops selling copies, and that's why I'm mentioning it. So if you go into your local cake shop, because I've got another lady who's been into her local cake shop and she has been told that the nozzles that she has got, and I'll just get it for you. This lady went into a local cake shop here in the northwest, and this is the packaging that it came with. It's called Violet, and she was told by the lady in the cake shop that this is a genuine Nifty Nozzle. And the lady watches our Facebook lives, and she said, well, why is it not in the packaging if it's a genuine one? And the lady gave us some sort of fobbed off story and said, well, they don't come from Nifty Nozzles, but they're the same. Well, I have to tell you, they're not the same. It's actually quite a rubbish quality. It's actually really very, very thin and flimsy, and it doesn't look good. And the lady has actually sent it back to me, and I've actually told her if she wants to, she can go back into her seller and tell them she's been sold a copy, and I can give her the patent numbers and they should be giving her money back. So if any of you bought them off Amazon or eBay, write to them, tell them you believe you bought a copy, and they will have to give you your money back. All those sellers will. And talking of eBay, we've been approved by eBay now to start taking sellers off, so we're going to be doing that this week. It does take some time to take sellers off eBay because you have to put in all your paperwork and wait for it to be approved, but we've been approved and we're now after those. Facebook's a different matter. We got off a lot of sellers off Facebook, and the only problem is, what we didn't realise is that we've got rid of the advert, so they've just opened another advert. I can't keep up with them on Facebook, but you guys could really help me because you're all messaging me. Why don't you go on there and tell them, tag me in, it's Carol McFarland, or tag in Sugar and Crumbs, and ask them why they're selling copies, and I'll tell you exactly what will happen. You will get blocked. And it's quite funny because a lot of my ladies have joined me and they've gone off and done it, and they've come back and said, Carol, I've been blocked. So what have these people got to hide? They can't even answer the question and tell you the truth that they are flogging you a cheap copy. So that is the white rose one that we've done there. So we've done Starburst and we've done rose cup. So this is the one that you all like as well. So I'm just going to do this one now. And this one is to make your rose really big. I was at Cake Supplies in Netherlands yesterday teaching with my daughter Laura. You all know Laura, any of you who've been to the cake shows. Well, she's not going to be at them anymore because my Mother's Day present was Laura is having a baby in September. So I've had to find some new recruits. And Jenny, who is on the stand, has been promoted to Nifty Nozzles, so she's very excited. So what we're going to do is we're just going to extend the rose on here. So again, a little bit of buttercream, and then we are going to put the rose on there. Yeah. So you can see the roses on there. And then I'm going to use the 104 tip. Now this is the 104 Wilton tip. I'm just going to make a big white rose first. So I think John can see you there. So with the 104 you've got a bulbous bit at the bottom and a thin bit at the top. If you just want to remember which side it goes, just remember that a petal is really thin at the top and the thickness of the petal is down at the bottom. So keep that bottom bit at the bottom of your flower. So we are just going to squeeze and we're going to do half a semicircle. Really very, very easy. And in that half a semicircle we're going to go round again. And loads of you ladies have sent me pictures to say that you've been so pleased that I've showed you how to do this and you can do them yourselves now. So is there anybody here tonight who has done this after being taught, after my tutorials? So we're going round twice. I think that's the first one round. I'm going to go round again. Now if you want to keep it as a tight rose, just go around 2 or 3 times like this. But we're going to open the rose up. So can you see how the rose is growing? Yep. What do we think? John, you still with us, love? Yeah? What do they think?
Time delay again.
Time delay. So ladies, there's a time delay. I wasn't sure whether John was going to sleep with the iPad in his hand. Poor soul. Been up since 4:30 this morning. So then we've done the rose, and then what we're going to do now is, again with the thick side at the bottom, we are going to squeeze in here, and we're doing half a semicircle again, but lay down. So it's lay down there, and then we're just going to pull it up. So I'm just going to show you again. So we're going to go underneath this petal, squeeze, and we're going to come up. Did you see that? So under the petal again, squeeze, and we're going to come up. Can you see how it's forming now? I'm having to do this without seeing it, which is a bit strange. Squeeze and pull up, squeeze and pull up. So John, how many of these ladies have said that they've learned from the tutorials? And the last one, squeeze and pull up and go on top. Have a big one. So what do we think? So I'm going to wait for the time delay. So you like this one? So this is lovely. Really, really lovely. And it's great for the wedding season now. So if you want to do your cupcakes for the wedding season. So I'm going to bring in the white rose again. And I'm just going to squeeze it there. And I'm just going to go around the back and squeeze a few more rose buds. Yeah. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to use our little green one, pop in a little bit of green, a couple of green berries. They don't take long, these. I mean, I don't know if anyone's ever actually timing me when I do these, but they don't take long. The longest bit is actually making the buttercream. That's the longest bit. So carry on around here. A couple of more berries. I'm going to fill in the little pinks because that's my colour today. I'm just going to put in a couple of whites, so just a little bit pink. Just doesn't take long at all, and everybody just loves them. So whether for weddings or birthdays, or just if you want to show off to your friends how clever you are, this is how quick you can do these. So what do we think? Are we loving it? Yeah, John says they're loving it. Are you loving it? So I'm just going to do a nice big leaf here now. So I'm just going to squeeze in and do myself a nice big leaf. See that pink come through on the leaf now? How cool is that? And there you go. And that is your rose. Yeah? So we've done the big rose with some roses round the back and some berries. And we've done the leaves pink and green. And all we did is we put the green on the outside with pink in the centre, and it eventually comes through. So isn't it lovely in the white? What do you think? Yeah? John's nodding. I know all of you think it's really funny that John doesn't talk to me. And I've told him he does have to talk to you as well, but you'd never think he was so shy really, would you? So there you go. So that's the rose. There's the starburst. There's the rose cup, which is really pretty. That's the rose on its own. I've done the leaves there. So I'm just going to do another one. I've saved this nozzle. Okay. So this is going to be two-toning your nozzle. So we've got the white rose. So I'm just going to, on the bulbous side here, I'm going to put in the bag the pink, the white, sorry, I'll get it right in a moment. So I'm going to put white colouring on at least 2/3 of the bag there. And then we're going to get some of the pink, and we're going to squash the pink down the top there. So I know we've gone over the hour, ladies, but I know you all love these nozzles. So see how we've got this effect here? Yeah? So we're going to squeeze this round. And let's just get the pink out. So you should be able to see that it's just going to start coming out there. Can you see? Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the last cupcake before John passes out. And then I'm going to tell you who won last week's prize. So we'll just go around, do this cupcake really very, very quickly. So a little bit of buttercream. And I'm just going to do one big rose on here. So one big rose in the white. And then I'm going to hold this. What do you think with no music on? Does it seem too quiet? So we're just going to go round, round, round. You see the pink just coming through now. I've probably not got enough buttercream in this bag now. Just going to go round, round, round. And just keep going round. And I'm going to put a little bit more white in the bag. Different look of it all together. Squeeze the air out when you fill up your bag. And then we're just going to go underneath. Up, 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 up again. Up again. So look how different it looks when you've just been doing the petals, when you've just been sweeping with the petals. Let me put a little bit more green in this leaf, and then I think we're done then. We'll have a little sneaky peek in the oven at how our meringues are doing, and then I'll come back later on and show them you. And I do need to make a big mention. Last week I forgot to mention who won the Mother's Day giveaway. Now Baking Heaven and Cupcake Heaven, is it Cake Heaven? Baking Heaven? Let me see. So it's Cake Decorating Heaven and Bacon Heaven I gave a fantastic giveaway prize along with some of our icing sugars and Nifty Nozzles, and I actually forgot to tell you in the main programme who actually won, and the lady who won was Emily Morgan, and that got posted out to her today, and she won a year's subscription to Cake Decorating Heaven, Bacon Heaven. She won a hot cross Easter bunny flavoured icing sugar, bubblegum flavoured icing sugar, chocolate orange cocoa powder, an Easter chip Nifty Nozzle and an Easter bunny. So that was Emily Morgan. Yeah, so we're here at the end and John is melting with the heat in this kitchen. We're just going to put a couple of leaves on. There we go. So there you go, ladies. 5 different cupcakes using your Nifty Nozzles. And then the prize winners from last week. So, John, the prize winners from last week. So we've got 2 prize winners, and the prize winners have won a mini Mrs. Whippy and a mini Mrs. Viennetta, a mini Mrs. Whippy and a mini Viennetta. They're live on the website for sale now, but these 2 ladies have won 1 each of those, and they've won 5 colour splash colours, which is the sunflower, violet, orange, pistachio and Christmas red. And the ladies who's won that is a Kerry Jones and a Selma Kadubux, and I'll have to spell that. Her surname is Khodabux, and I'm sure you say her name as Salma, S-A-L-M-A, and Kerry Jones. You are both winners of those prizes there. And as I say, a big thank you to Cake Decorating Heaven and Bacon Heaven for the big Mother's Day prize giveaway that they joined us with, and the winner of that was Emily Morgan. So I'm just going to have a look, see how our meringues are doing. So they're here, they're doing okay, but they have gone brown, so I'm not quite sure. That tells me that I'm doing something wrong. My oven is on 110, so that is the ones made with the flavoured icing sugar and the egg whites, and here's the blue ones made with the chickpea juice called Aquafaba, and they're not ready yet, they're not ready for a while. So we'll leave those in there. And then I just want to say a big thank you. I don't think I forgot anything else. Yeah, what do I need to do? Next week's prize. So we're not going to do next week's prize, we're actually going to do this big giveaway. So we're going to, if you can like and share this giveaway. So if you like and share this tutorial, and we're going to announce this giveaway winner in 2 weeks' time after Easter. Is that 2 weeks' time, 3 weeks' time? I'm not sure, I'm confused because kids have finished school. And I just want to say thank you for joining me tonight, as usual. And if anybody wants to come and join me on Facebook Live, send me a message and I would love you to come and join us. And that's thank you from me, and I will see you later, about 9:30. Bye.